We started our trip in Reykjavik, Iceland. It's the capital city of Iceland. It was the height of the summer, so it was only dark from about 12 midnight to 3 a.m. People didn't get up real early, but they stayed up very late. This is one of the public thermal swimming pools. It's open year-round, even in the dead of winter, mostly because of their geothermal heating. The water comes out of the earth so hot, they actually have to go into these cooling tanks to cool down. This was a beautiful late June day in a park in Reykjavik. We saw plenty of mums pushing trolleys of babies. This is the landmark Hallgríms Cathedral, with a statue of Leif Erikson in front, and then the traditional turf church with a grass roof, and inside the oldest church in Iceland. It was formed about 900 AD. On the way to Gullfoss waterfalls, notice the glaciers along the horizon. Iceland was formed by volcanic action, and many geysers and lava rock can be seen throughout the island. In Thingvellir National Park, there's a place where the two Earth's plates are stretching apart. And where in 930 AD, Iceland's first parliament met. We then flew to Frankfurt, Germany and rented a VW Golf 6-speed to visit our friends Uli, Ziela and Britta in northern Germany, in Fürstenau, where he was having a beach volleyball tournament with some friends from East Germany. This is his school and some of the scenery in the vicinity. Then after an hour-and-a-half drive and a 20-minute ferry ride, we arrived on the Friesland island of Langenug, which looks a lot like the Jersey Shore. The shore along the northern coast of Germany is mostly mudflats when the tide goes out and isn't very good for beach use. And then about a 3-hour drive south is the Rhine River city of Cologne, in German Köln, with its medieval cathedral called the Dome, and a view of its 509 steps to the spire. A little farther to the south of Cologne is the picturesque Mosel River Valley, flanked by vineyards, castles, and ancient villages. Cigarette machines were found everywhere. A lot of them were American brands and cost about $3 a pack. Just a bit inland from the Mosel River is the 700-year-old Burg Eltz. It was never destroyed and has much of the original furnishings. Here's the kitchen. The spinning room, and the sleeping chambers. From the Mosel, we crossed a small mountain to overlook the Rhine River Valley. Baden-Baden is on the northern edge of the Black Forest, and for centuries it's been a spa and a healthy hot spring place. Every bed in the motel rooms we stayed came with a feather quilt, which was cool in the heat. None of the rooms we stayed in had air conditioning, and they were about the same price that we pay here. Most every village, sidewalk, and most streets were paved in cobblestone, and this was a Friday afternoon when this hard worker was trying to finish. And after leaving the Black Forest, we headed south and a little east to the Berner Oberland in Switzerland, where a train led up to the highest station in Europe at Jungfraujoch. took a ski lift up to the top of Schilthorn, and of course you can see we're in the clouds here. It took us 4 hours to walk down to get back to our hotel. This is the River Inns, and the town or city of Innsbruck literally means bridge over the River Inns. We hired some bikes from our hostel where we were staying and took a ride around a small town outside of Innsbruck called Hals, where we often would see shrines to the Catholic Church or to deceased relatives. And it was also one of these medieval salt cities. Salt was a big industry at that time. And came across many traffic circles, wonderfully decorated with flowers. This is Hohenschwangau, where Ludwig, Mad King Ludwig, spent most of his adult life building the Neuschwanstein Castle. Just over the border in Austria, we found an Austrian folk festival that had 40 bands dressed in their traditional outfits, and even the spectators dressed for the occasion. Here's a view of Munich from St. Peter's Cathedral. And we just had to stop at the Hofbrauhaus, which is famous for its beer, food, and pretzels. Notice these two big glasses of beer in front of Jody. I thought her eyes were bigger than her stomach. As it turned out, I had to help her finish part of one. Here's one of the 4 gates that you had to go through to get into Old Munich, and a flowered city building. About 2 hours north of Munich is one of the preserved medieval cities called Dinkelsbühl. In the 1600s, the Swedes captured the town and were about to destroy it when the children of the town asked the Swedish general to spare it, and this annual parade celebrates their success. A little farther up the Romantic Road is the medieval city of Rothenburg. Here is the Wurst shop, or sausage. Next door was our guest house that we stayed in, and upstairs in the guest house. We then went to St. Jacob's Church, and famous for its wood carving. And as our tour comes to an end, we wish everyone auf Wiedersehen.